Good morning to all my Russian friends and the friends from all over the globe. Well, I'm really honored and thankful to the Lomonosov Moscow State University and the organizers of Globalistics 2020 for having honored me to be here as an invited speaker. I really cherish the memories of last 3 years when I had been here to your university and had opportunity to deliver lecture on the ecological transportation system, as well as also presents some of the models on the development and also on the education. Well, I still cherish those memories. I was very keen to come again, but however, due to this worsening situation due to COVID-19, well, I'm not able to come physically or hug to you all, and I'm here face to face in this virtual conference on the Globalistic 2020. Well, before I speak, I would like to tell you that I am your very close friend, because right from the beginning, we Indians and the Russians are very, very trusted friends. And as regards me, I just like to mention in just 2 or 3 sentences, which you already heard about it perhaps, that I did my doctorate from Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, and after that I did my postdoctorate from University of Illinois, Chicago. And after having done the postdoctorate in chemical technology, I had a passion for the research in space sciences, and I then did my master's after postdoctorate from University of Wisconsin, and then I had an opportunity to work at the Space Science Engineering Center, one of the NOAA NASA laboratory, and the University of Wisconsin, USA. And I also had an opportunity to be a wing commander in the Indian Air Force, and I do have the credit of 550 hours of flying with me, and God is kind to make me a very young visiting scientist in 1990 of United Nations Industrial Development Organization. And since then, I had visited about 32 countries all over the world and continent and shared my view and appeal, specifically that we must control the global warming and restrict the climate change, not only by talking, but by working and finding the innovative solutions to control this global warming, climate change, and the best thing is to be close to the nature. Well, today I am going to be here to discuss with you very natural phenomena, and that is, I'm going to talk to you about that is a correlation predicting models of peace through the synchronization of science, spirituality, and harmony. And this, if we can inculcate, obviously, there will be a good for humanity, well-being for all over the humanity on this Mother Earth. Before I do that, I would be reminding you one of the very, the first rhyme of the great epic, of the first epic, more than 5,006 years old, the Vedas. And these Vedas, the Rig Veda. The Rig Veda, why I'm quoting this? Because I would like to tell you that we cannot attain anything. It's the first in this shloka or in this couplet, you will find the answer how to put the peace on the planet, you see. So this speaks that a man having the firm determination and the iron variation is definitely going to get success. There's no shortcoming if you do not work, if you do not act, if you do not implement the knowledge, then of course, nothing can be achieved. Well, coming to the great scientist quote, before I come to that, what's the life? And for that, I would now like to share the screen with some of the PowerPoint presentation which I have made to share with all of you, and hope you will enjoy this topic, which is very close to everybody, but exactly not known how to predict peace and how to establish peace, and how it definitely happens with this little scientific attitude which I had right from the childhood. I put my endeavor to develop some mathematical equations, correlations, or the objective techniques to find out and put for your pleasure, please. Hope you will enjoy. Let's share the screen now onward. Well, this to me I've already talked about, and after that, this is okay. This now is sharing taking place. So this is what I recited. That is the Rig Veda. That is only the person having firm conviction and iron volition can attain strength and energy, and at no stage of karma does he ever hesitate. Karma means action, and this computational, and this great gathering of the august gathering of the scientists from all over the world, and under the edges of Moscow State University, the section 4, which deals, we are now talking about computational peace forecasting models through synchronization of science, spirituality, harmony, and when harmony is nothing, is another name of man. He is the great scientist, Albert Einstein. He said, what is knowledge? To know about life, matter, and their interaction is called knowledge. And further he says also, I believe that a simple and unassuming manner of life is best for everyone, best both for the body and for the mind. You see, the peace cannot be attained unless there is a synchronization of body and mind. Well, now coming to the a little defining what science is, though everybody knows what science is. Well, it's in very simple language. We can define that science is commonly defined as the systematic knowledge, you see, and it can be elaborated as logical, analytical, systematic knowledge of global phenomena backed with the experimental proof. The important thing that science is always backed with the experimental proof. Science is a search of proven truth. When the scientific dreams are out of creativity, then there is a birth of invention. Going to the next one, the science and spirituality. Well, we already talked about spirituality. I remember the great saint, you may be also knowing the name, Swami Vivekananda. He said that science is the conscious, the science which deals with the conscious, and which also searches not only truth, searches eternal truth, that is known as spirituality. So it's one of the more, the idea which I feel closer to the nature, you see. Nature you may call by any name, you may call God, you may call Jesus Christ, you may call God Rama, or any name for the faith which you do have. And when we talked about the conscious, what we meant is, you see, the conscious, the spirituality is such a thing which cannot be destroyed, which cannot be burned, which cannot be, what we should say, this is cannot be wounded by any type of weapons, and it cannot be moistened by water or blown by mind. This is eternal, you see, it's always existing. So spirituality is an axiomatic presentation of Vedic knowledge on the science, and spirituality are binding forces to humanity in the search for the ultimate meaning of life on this universe. Now, coming to the conceptualize, how do we conceptualize spirituality, you see? So I think the spirituality is like your ATM, automatic teller machine, but one of the differences that gives you the rupees. Here you have to put action, thoughts, and mind, and until you work, that is action, then only this machine gets open. We talked about the Vedas right in the beginning. I must tell you, the Vedas, they are the epics more than 5,000, 6,000 years back, and they belong to humanities. They do not belong to any religion or any sect or any other country. Because the Vedas were first, formed near the Trans-Indus River. And on that name of that river, which called in Sanskrit Sindhu, India, it gets correlated with the Hinduism. Again, I would like to clarify here, the Hindus does not mean with the Hindu religion. It's just a way of life which believes in the two mottos. One is the Vasudeva Kutumbakam, that the family of one God, family of one God, and also the other meaning is that Sarve Bhavantu Sukhna, Sarve Santu Niramya. I mean, means everywhere there should be happiness, there should be peace, there should be love, and there should be spirituality, and the people should live with harmony. In other words, spirituality is a God's atom, ATM, what I mean, which blesses only when one inserts a card of karma. And that karma, that action should be the righteous action. If your action is not righteous, you cannot claim that you have attained the spirituality. Now, going to the next one, the spirituality and the science are two opposite sides of coin of peace. If we mint a coin of peace, as per me, it cannot be without spirituality, and it cannot be without scientific innovation. So science relates to empirical philosophy, speculation processes, and spirituality deals with the soul. That's the difference between the two. One is actually both are in the pursuit of truth. One is rationally and other is devotionally. Both scientists, specialists are religious people. They believe in God or in power, which runs this universe. The difference is that scientist tries to explain the nature of reality within rationality, where the specialist does so within and beyond nationality with a common factor of it. So that's a very, pertinent difference between the two. And obviously the person who follows the scientific methodology, those are the scientists, and who follow the devotional path. I do not mean that the scientists do not follow the devotional piece, but just to differentiate, you can understand this way. The scientist plans an experiment first, sees its pros and cons, employs the method, and while the spiritualist would correspond to the faith, and that such an idea or vision has come to mind by grace of God. So that's the difference between the two. The Max Planck, again another Nobel laureate, he mentioned that science demands also the believing spirit. Anybody who has been seriously engaged in scientific work of any kind realizes that over the entrance of the gates to the temple of science are written words: we must have faith. Unless you have got belief and faith in something, if you do not have faith that sun rises from the east, you cannot proceed to understand or investigate solar spectrum or the other properties of the light. So this imaginative vision and faith in the ultimate success are indispensable. The pure rationalist has no place here. That's you have to be both, you see. So every scientist, in my view, is a specialist. But of course, every specialist cannot be a scientist, you see, as per the definition we have following or we have accepted. Now that we are coming to the tenets of scientists or the specialists or the beliefs, what you call it, both believe in three I's. Sorry. What are the three I's I meant? That is the improvement, innovation, and invention. I will come later, the difference of all these three. I developed the equations on this innovation, improvement, and invention. What is their correlation will come later. So here what we want to tell you that Inventor and innovators are often famous for their confidence, their perseverance, and their passion. You cannot do any research if you do not have a passion for research. Research cannot be imposed on anybody. It comes out of your own passion, you see. I have to do it. I have to find out the answer of this problem. And remember, there cannot be a problem which doesn't have the solution. It reminds me one of the great scientists, one day he had a doubt whether he is dead or he is alive. So he kept on thinking, and finally he said, if there is a thinker, or if there is a thought, there has to be a thinker. So I am alive. So it's like that, you see. So scientists and spiritualists, if you ask me, both are the leaders. They are the ambassadors of peace with a very strong conviction. What is that? I always create. Both people are the creator. They never destroy. I always believe, never doubt. I am a successful person, not a victim. I have the capacity and knowledge to help people. That's why I'm a leader. I'm not a political leader. I am the leader who helps the people, who loves the people, with no hope of getting back from anything of that pleasure what he shares. So these are some of the equations, correlation between the improvement, innovation, and invention. If you are seeing here, if we acronym as I1 improvement and I2 innovation and then I3 as invention. So mathematically we can put, like we have put I2 VG is the innovation is directly proportional to curiosity, and then your invention is directly proportional to creativity. See, you cannot be an innovator without curiosity and cannot be an inventor without creativity. You have to create something, and mathematically you can write like this. And then coming finally, that is the invention equation will be your I1 plus I2 and I3. Remember, when you remove the sign of proportionality and when constant comes, that is action. You have to act. There is no shortcut to learning. So in very short, improvement leads to innovation and innovation leads to invention. So this is one of the chemical type of equations we try to put it. And now we come to the another aspect. What is the what type of these scientists? Both are scientists. I mean, the spiritualists as well as the scientists. Of course, scientists, but you can categorize as a physical scientist. Other you can categorize as your social scientist. And both are basically, they believe in finding the new thing, improving the new thing, and inventing the new things. Only the paths are different. One believes with experimental proof, other the devotional practices. The tenets of space, both are right on their own concern. And now we come to tenets of the speciality. You see, the first tenet, you should have a very strong character. If you remember in your school days, you might have heard, well, this lost, nothing is lost. You can always earn the money if you lose money someday. And if you lose health, you can again regain the health with your diet and of course, with your exercise, yoga, what you know. And but remember, if you have lost your character of habit and you have become unethical in your action and in your deeds, you have lost everything in your life. So the other thing is the tenets of spirituality teaches you respect all faiths. Love your own mother, but at the same time, respect the mothers of others as well. And God is omnipresent and omnipotent. Do to others, very golden principle in life to have a peace in your life and prosperity in your life. That is, do to the others as you wish to get from them. And there was a very old picture served with love. The great thing is you must love. If you love, you will never harm that person or anything which you love. And that's how there won't be any fights and anything, and the peace will remain. Remember, never forget this thing. God has given two hands, one to receive with it and one to give with it. More and more you give, you believe me, it's my life experience, more and more you are going to get it. The other practice, how to get mental peace especially, is the process of meditation. You have to meditate. And there are different types of meditation techniques, but the very simple technique which I do follow in my day-to-day life, and I found that is what the acronym I have given, meditation of soul. And this is the difference with the usual meditation or yoga. This I will come for a little later. What is your meditation of soul? Let us complete with the tenets of peace and come forward to the first equation which you have derived, the equation of peace. Well, peace not only paramount for the development of any nation. No nation can have development without peace. If you do not have peace in your human beings of your citizens, how can you have any type of development? There won't be any development. If the trash activity is on, what development can take place? So a foundation for its sustenance, development encompasses 4 P's, as I think: purpose, principle, philanthropy, and the peaceful interaction amalgamated with the value-based knowledge. You should have value-based. So in other words, your peace is proportional to the development. And this is another, you may call it a brainchild of mine, which I dreamt one day, that peace is inversely proportional to entropy. That is, in very common language, entropy, of course, is a mathematical, you go with the ds dq by dt, or thermodynamic equations are there in the chemical physics or what you call it. But in simple language, what it means is disorderliness. So if more is the disorderliness, less will be the peace. And if the less is the disorderliness, entropy, more is the peace. It's like that. I give you a simple example. You reach home after having worked in the office very hard, and you find that things in your drawing room are quite disturbed. Some things are spread here and there and not in order. You are going to lose the mental peace. So this is one of the very simple examples. So there should not be entropy in any way, in any path, in any fashion in your life. If you bring orderliness, a disciplined life, the peace is going to exist. So the first peace equation, the fundamental equation is peace is inversely proportional to entropy, or peace is equal to K upon entropy, and where K is nothing, is the action, karma is constant. Until unless you work, nothing can. You see, I think the God made a very simple constitution to run this universe. You work, you get. You don't work, you don't get. And that's what the very famous shloka, if you happen to know a little bit Sanskrit. As a matter of fact, if you see deeply, your Russian language is very, very close to Sanskrit. And in that, there is one shloka in the Gita that is the essence of all the Vedic knowledge. Karmaneva dhikaraste ma parishu karachane. You have got only right to do the karma. You have got only right to do the action. And you should leave result on the Almighty. The day you start bothering when you are working hard about the results much, you lose the track of imagination and the implementation, you see. So the world is to be in peace when there is a mental peace, materialistic peace, demographic peace. I mean, demographic means the different parts of geological region of the world, and there has to be environmental peace. That environment must be peaceful. There should not be any pollution. There should not be air pollution, water pollution, or due to the extreme severe weather phenomena, due to the change, climate change, or the worry that the sea levels are rising and whatnot. So if all these things are existing, where is the peace? So you have to have these factors. And then the most thing is, you should have harmony, which is known also spiritual unity between the religions of the world. And that is the unity comes through. It's the manifestation of the humanity. Well, gentlemen, I talked about the soul meditation. This is the meditation which, let me be very frank, was suggested by my wife. And I found from last 1 year I'm doing, and it's really has come, given me a lot of relief in the migraine headache. And I find that a lot of the neurological disorders can also be treated with this soul meditations. Well, I'm not going to the much on the medical side. Let's come to the point. It's a sort of meditation which is to be performed in solitude. Say solitude is morning 1 to 2 hours before the sunrise, when everything is quiet, you see. And then because it arises out of conscious, and this is the sync, and you have to synchronize your body, mind, and soul. And the posture, before I explain, is this, like I just show you in 30 seconds or so, and it doesn't take much time. Straight sitting in squatting posture with 90-degree angle between waist and neck head. Also, body should be in relaxed mode, no stress, and mind be focused on one imaginary point selected in the center of the forehead, aligned to the nose, and stress-free with no thoughts preferably. This is the soul meditation or the conscious meditation. And I just give you a 30 seconds demonstration. Of course, specs will not be there when you are doing. You have to remove those specs. And well, I was coming to the point. This is meditation. What is, and well, the period is not fixed. Minimum is that if possible, half an hour should you do it. That's what I have experimented. And what I talked about, the neurological and ophthalmological diseases. It's a very good treatment for glaucoma as well, and your wetness of eyes and things. And only I've written to the Glaucoma Research Foundation, and the clinical investigation are to be done on this phenomena, you see. Well, now coming on the other aspect of peace, how the peace comes. It is again a synchronization. You should have, as I told in the beginning, the feeling there's this Vasudev Kutumbakam. There's a world family under one God. And there's no difference between Amin, and Om. These are all divisions of reasons are made, man-made, with their vested interest. We all are one and one. Children of God. It's the only different paths to reach to the destination. I give you an example for that, you see. If you see very closely Bible, Bible, 5 words. Gita, 5 words. Quran, 5 words. Both are, however, unfortunately, are tagged with your Christianity, Hindus. Of course, as I told you, Hinduism is not a religion, it's a way of life. But anyhow, in general, it is done that, and the Quran with Islam. And now we come to the center of worships, temple. Temple, 6-letter word, mosque, 6-letter, church, 6-letter. What it shows? That there can be a diverse path, but all are teaching that love the humanity, no hatred, peace. And if you can have this harmony, which is also known as religious harmony in common language, peace is going to prevail. The division and hatred in the society are due to economic and political reasons, languages, sectarianism, regionalism, food habits, disregard for the moral values and teaching of the spiritual masters, and rivalry among nations for the domination. These are the main things. There are many religions in the world, and all the religions, faith, I actually hate word religion, so I call it faith, pray for the peace and harmony amongst the human. Well, I give a very good example from my own country. India is an amalgamation of worlds, faith, cultures, terrain. You see, I think when God created this universe, India must have been made as a pilot plant of this great architect of the world. And because it's a country which has got different terrains, different language, different faith, secular, and all people live in harmony. That's a way one verse, and basically we are peace-loving country, but it doesn't mean that if somebody attacks us, we are not going to retaliate. We have to, because we do not believe in aggression, but we definitely believe in defending our sovereignty. So peace and success coming to the relation. If you have to get success in life, the peace has to be there, and vice versa is true. So the peace is directly proportional to the success. Again, when you remove the sign of proportionality, we get the peace success equation, that is P equal to K into S. This is what I could think of. And success is again achieved by your hard work, persistence, perseverance, passion, and very good attitude. Never quit it. Keep on working, struggling. And target-oriented approach. You have to make a target that I have to reach to this goal within so and so time. You see, you have, unfortunately, see, most of the people, we all, do not bother about time, because again, the time was given by the great Almighty without any cost. And I remember one thing, my dear young students here, that if you keep the account of time, you become great. And if you, as you keep the account of money, you become rich. Well, this is just off the track. And now the question comes, how the peace can be achieved? What is the other path? That path is a coexistence. There's a social, religious harmony, which I mentioned to you with some of the examples. Sorry. So harmony, it gave me an idea again, is what can be the harmony spectra of the humanity. So in Indian subcontinent, it's an ideal model of coexistence of all the religious faith, culture, and civilizations. Scientists, spiritualists, and harmony appearing as the three respective reasons with visible ultraviolet and infrared of the spectra of light. This is just, the hypothesis which I could think. And social religious harmony, we already talked about. It should be practiced by all the people, all the faith religions in the world, and all the teachers or religious must teach the harmony, and destination is one, because as I talked in the beginning, destination is one, but paths are different. So this social religious harmony leads to the development, happiness, or cheerfulness, and peace and peaceful living. So in other words, your harmony is directly proportional to development, directly proportional to happiness, and directly proportional to the peace. So this is another way to define the peace. However, I just by mistake, I jumped to the other slides, and let me go back to this. So we were here, you see. So these are the different technologies we have mentioned about the scientific technologies. We have talked about tenets of spirituality. We have already talked about the tenets of peace and peace equation. We talked about SMM. And now already we discussed this thing. Sorry, just give me 2 minutes, perhaps not even 2 minutes. And now I am coming to this, your models. That is your models, peace models, which have been developed on the basis of the synchronization of science, spirituality, and harmony. In other words, the basis of humanity. Humanity cannot exist without the harmony. Well, I can categorize that there are three circles. So this is a three circles model, and that circle is again enclosed in the rectangular of the four arms. So let's talk about the first is your science circle. And the tools, what are the tools to become a scientist or to is improvement, innovation, invention. So again, a spirituality circle, which has got three negatives. A means you should get rid of anxiety, anguish, and anger. These are the enemies to spirituality, and what you should have rather 3A plus, that will come your attachment, affection, and appreciation. If you do these three things, people will feel happy and there will be a lot of harmony. And the last but not least is your harmony circle, that you should have harmony among the people, then harmonious prosperity of everybody, and also there should be a harmony in the environment. It should be pollution free. It should be the comfortable living with the natural meteorological phenomena. So if we take into cognitions of in the form of atomic structures, this your university is the foundation of the complete periodic table of the elements mentally. And atomic structure, if we think of these three circles or these three elements of the periodic table, we will find these are three circles: your science circles, spirituality circles, humanity, and the electron revolving around the nucleus of peace with their different tools mentioned above. So this can be, of course, I could not drive a better figure because all PowerPoint presentation has been made by me. This is what happens when you are the former vice chancellor or rector, what you call, of the two university, and you don't have the secretary staff to do all those things. But well, it's a pleasure, because if you have got knowledge of the things, you can do anytime yourself. You must have knowledge, you see. That's very, very important thing. So this is the gentleman piece as a nucleus, and these are three circles: your science circles, spirituality circles, and harmony. Now, further, I will talk to you the other. This is your model of the piece, what we thought of. Or now, this is the model, as we talked in the beginning. The purpose is also to develop the piece predicting models, how to predict the piece. Until unless you know the structure, you cannot predict anything of that particular phenomenon. So we have mainly discussed the structure of piece, or in the form of replica of atomic structures. Now let's see if we have to, even if you ask me if these parameters can be put, I'm not going to talk more mathematical or the scientific things here. Even the numerical prediction models of piece can also be developed. Well, based on the innovative piece equation, the piece predicting models, PPMs, have been developed to forecast peace, establish peace, optimize peace, and predicts its sustenance over the Mother Earth planet. Now, predicting peace model has been shown as the three-tool. It's very interesting. It's a three-tool, three circles, and also contained in the rectangle having head, that is happiness, education, action, dream, or which you call also meditation and happiness. That is well-being of humanity. So if we put mathematically, we can put it pictorially rather, this HEAD clockwise as a rectangular 4 arms, in which these three circles are embedded. That is your science circle, your spirituality circle, harmony circle. So if we conclude, it comes, peace is a function of 3P circle tools, peace is a function of 3A circle tools, peace is a function of 3 I's, and peace is a function of head. If you ask in a little humorous language, you have to employ your head to predict the peace. Without head or mind, you cannot predict the peace. So forecasting peace by science, spirituality, harmony, peace models. But we have seen the figure. It goes like this. The peace head is equal to function of this 3I, 3A, 3P, and in a very popular language, it's the 3-pi model. That is your East science, and peace is a 3-pi model. It means peace can be computed and forecast by the optimum values found with qualitative and quantitative estimations of the few selected pi functions, that is people, prosperity, planet, environment, anxiety, anguish, anger, improvement, innovation, invention. This is your 3-pi peace prediction model. Of course, you have to select what parameter you have to take, what inputs you have to make, and what initialization is to be done, and where parameterization to be done if you have to develop the numerical weather prediction models. You see your peace. Further, from the peace equation, which we have derived in the past, peace is proportional to your success and inversely proportional to entropy. Also, this harmony is proportional to your development and other things. And without coming, finally, we get the equation P is 1 into 3 pp upon entropy and the 3 A's. So also the P is a spirituality, P is the proportional to science, P is proportional to disease harmony, P is proportional to H, cheerfulness, and then happiness. And finally, you get this particular equation. And now we are just reaching to the destination. So in the other things, what you call is happiness is proportional to success, happiness is proportional to peace, happiness is proportional to justice, happiness is proportional to contentment, happiness is proportional to environment, I mean the clean environment, and happiness, last but not least, proportional to love. And we already talked of the religious spectrum, which consists of your culture, language, literature, history, and civilization, social behaviors, understanding of the humanity, you see. And if you all, sum up these equations, happiness becomes K into S into P and L. That is, this is the happiness equations where again, karma is constant. And this is the success month, how to get the success, how to develop all these equations, how to develop and how to really implement this knowledge, whatever we have discussed just in the last 45 minutes or perhaps mainly, yes, it's precisely not even 25 minutes, it's less than 20 minutes. So so watch, you have to do watch. I'm not talking your wristwatch. I'm talking you have to watch your words, watch the actions, watch your thoughts, watch your character, and watch your health. And the success needs clear purpose, team attribute, strong relationships, communications, trust and confidence, accountability and leadership. And again, success is affected by competitions, innovation, globalization. And success, what it requires is you have to plan, you have to vision, you have to have execution. You only plan and don't execute, you will never get the success. And without vision, without dreaming, where is the success? So the Einstein, the great scientists, have given an equation of success. That is, success equals to X plus Y plus Z, where X is the dream and Y is the action, hard work, or act, and the Z, or G, what he meant was quiet. You have to be quiet. You should be silent worker. In my view, so peace is a function of success, function of 5 C's, and this is succession, character, commitment, conviction, courtesy, courage. These are the 5 C's. And optimization of peace is dependent on these 5 C's, and it has got the linear relationship with peace and success. Even the regression equation can be drawn on the basis of this, you see. And last but not least, last but one, let's say, happiness is proportional to peace of body, happiness is proportional to peace of mind, happiness is proportional to peace of soul, and peace is inversely proportional to stress that solves entropy, as we talked about, and the happiness is inversely proportional to stress. If you have stress, where is the happiness, you see? So this with all, if we join together, we can put this equation, last one, the happiness is equal to all this what we talked about. In my view, proximity to nature leads to the happiness. Closer you are to nature, the creator of nature, God, happier you are. That's why my thinking is. So how to make happy to appears? Very nice motto. The oldest university, Nalanda, Takshila, which are now in ruins, had written on the gate, anger by pardon, liar by speaking the truth. What I meant, what? Win the anger by pardon, win the liar by speaking the truth, win the bad man by good deeds, and if you want to win the miser, give him more. So this is the thing, you follow this very simple principle in life. And last but not least, I also tried to have the synonymity with the peace predicting model as a hub and spoke model, you see. In this hub and spoke models get envisaged by considering peace as a hub and science, spirituality, and harmony as spokes. The model concludes that to establish peace, the synergy of science, spirituality, harmony is must, and the life is a synchronization of all these 4: science, spirituality, harmony, and peace. The establishment of peace necessitates clean environment and non-proliferation of weapons and understanding with positive attitude and passion to establish peace. Well, I tried to get all these ideas what we discussed, and my humble effort to develop mathematical equations, which are just marked with the VG, just to for me to remember that these are to be done and proved experimentally. As a scientist, we of course stands with my name only, Virendra Goswami. So Environment and Peace Foundation, this was founded in 2016 with a mission that depollute the environment, control global warming, natural and man-made disasters, free this humanity by using the technology. And I request all of you to come forward and collaborate with me and help me to serve the humanity in the better way. So stop the nuclear war and stop rise of weapons of mass destruction through safe, scientific, proven technology for nation security and global peace. And finally, before we depart virtually, we are not departing otherwise. So let's sing a song, what we call peace song, again tried to be composed. Life by me, life, thy name is peace, and peace, thy name is life, and where it attends, there strikes the arrow of death. Gentlemen, I'm really thankful, obliged to all of you for your patience hearing, and God bless everybody, and it's possible. See you again.